Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me for UBC Lunchtime News on the 8th of April 2025. I'm Maureen Babidie. In our first report, Uganda is hosting the 6th Africa Climate Talks and SDG Forum, with African countries being called upon to build resilient economics for themselves to withstand harsh climate changes. The forum solely stands on promoting Africa's growth and economic development by championing citizen inclusion, cooperation, and integration of African states. As Africa, the smallest contributor to climate change, continues to suffer the dire challenges of climate change, the 6th Africa Climate Talks and SDGs Forum calls for collective action from all African countries. We have more.
I want to understand why these days your commission, particularly your commission, is making meager awards to victims of human rights violations. Meager awards.
Temperatures, unpredictable rainfall, and extreme weather events are already having devastating effects on agriculture, on infrastructure, on livelihoods, on lives. And during my time in Uganda, and I arrived only last August, I've seen firsthand why investing in adaptation is so critical. The smallholder farmers we work with depend on predictable rainfall, yet seasons are becoming less reliable. Investing in irrigation systems is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. And the Netherlands invests 18 million euros in smallholder farmers in Uganda in a period of 4 years. And we make sure that every single activity we do keeps in mind the adaptation aspects.
Why should we focus on adaptation ever? So as you think about that, we should also think about the question, how much do initiatives such as the Africa Adaptation Acceleration Program matter to us, and to what extent are they relevant in our context? Also in part because if you go back, way back in 2022, when they issued the ERA 6, the IPCC synthesis report, which said that it's more likely than not that we shall overshoot within the period before 2035 what the Paris Agreement reaffirms. And if you remember, Paris Agreement points us to maintaining temperature rise well below 2 degrees centigrade or maintaining 1.5 in the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are grateful to the support of the African Development Bank for helping us secure about $301 financing for the rehabilitation and expansion of our rural infrastructure. But we also recognize that this investment must be adaptable to the risks posed by climate change.
GCA's mandate is to climate-proof development in African countries and globally, of course. And we do this through 3 areas of focus: knowledge acceleration, advocacy and leadership, as well as programs and action. And in Africa, we have the Africa Adaptation Acceleration Program that is climate-proofing investments in development across the continent. We're doing this to ensure that projects are bankable to access sufficient adaptation financing. We have the PPP, as we call it, partnership fora, to be able to discuss and engage and get feedback from our partners on the continent to ensure that the program is implementing the priorities of Africa.
Assistant Commissioner in charge of Health Sector.
Now, the members of the Parliamentary Committee on Budget and Finance Planning have tasked the Uganda Bureau of Statistics to address the issue of inaccuracies associated in the data collected to aid policymakers and relevant authorities to make informed decisions and proper planning. During a high-level meeting in Chigo, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics revealed its plans of harnessing digital technology and statistical production as a solution to address the inaccuracies.
You boss, I think you've done so much in data collection. I think what you have to do a little bit more is stakeholder engagement. That is how you disseminate the data that you collect at national level, regional level, and even with local governments.
I've seen where the technology person was presenting about your different tools and portals and all that about this data. And I'm thinking, looks like your statistics is really for the elite group. Because how will my fisherman in a Molatar actually know that their children are not going to school or they are getting married early when you keep this in those portals?
I have seen in your presentation children committing suicide. The number is outrageous. I wanted to request that in future such an engagement should involve National Planning Authority, so that we members of Parliament engage the National Planning Authority, and something should be done. Affirmative action should be done, because this has become so common. Even in schools, children are committing suicide. So what can we do to avert such a challenge?
In terms of cooperation with other institutions, WOBOS is making effort to cooperate now. Like now, currently, WOBOS is working with the NILA to harmonize the data that comes out from the what? From the NILA data, and inform them the inadequacies. Actually, I've written a report with them indicating the inadequacies in their data. Currently, we are working with the Ministry of Education to improve on the IMIS data by doing a baseline census on education. This data is going to be collecting the names of the pupils. The names of the pupils is going to be directly uploaded on the IMIS information, so that future IMIS data is linked to baseline data.
So the engagement we're having with them is to see how to improve. It is an improvement concern, to always improve, daily improve from one level to another, so that now this information that is available to us as leaders, as government, is going to help. And this information, we've been assured, it can be aggregated, it can be dropped down up to a village level. But for planning purposes, the last unit we've been said is to get that aggregated information that makes statistical sense is at the parish level.
Thank you so much. We'll get more on that report in our subsequent bulletins at 8. Now, members of the Legal Committee of Parliament expressed concern over Uganda Human Rights Commission giving major awards to victims of torture. MP Asuman Basalira said, according to UHRC records at tribunal level, 16 cases of human rights violations were awarded a total of 506 million Uganda shillings. Members also questioned why Human Rights Commission only visited detention places in Gulu and not those in Central, where most of the people whose rights are violated are arrested. This was yesterday when the commission appeared before the committee. Take a look.
I want to understand why these days your commission, particularly your commission, is making meager awards to victims of human rights violations. Meager awards. Because by this simple calculation means these 16 on average each received 30 million on average. But you are talking about 30 million, and what are the human rights violations? In your own document, you are talking about torture. So somebody is tortured, comes before a tribunal, and is awarded 30 million on torture. Somebody is you even talk about denial of right to life in your own document, and you're awarding 30 million. Right to security, and you're awarding 30 million. Aren't you condoning human rights violations by these meager awards? People will take these agencies that are violating human rights no longer have the fear to violate because the commission is making meager awards.
Previous financial year, there was only one visit and the visit was to Gulu, the military detention facility in Gulu. In this current financial year, there is zero visit to the military detention facility. I am raising this because most of the detentions and forced disappearances, the abductions, the arrest, by whatever name, has been done by the military. And many of those have happened here in the center, in Buganda. I find it surprising that the commission chose now to go to Gulu, to go and visit the detention facility in Gulu, yet here, which is the epicenter of all these detentions, it's here in Buganda, here in Central, you did not visit.
The media, all members of the media, have been victims. If we are to draw examples from the likes of Kawempe, we have seen the media being brutalized by institutions of government, for example, JAT. And as a strategy to address some of those things, you seek to educate the media on how to report sensitively. But isn't that ironic? Do you also, in the same spirit, seek to train the violators? Do you have a strategy of training JAT, for example, on how to handle the media?
But when I'm looking at such a case, there is no way I can award this man who defiled his niece and is almost proud of what he did. And I know that this niece of his has suffered long-term trauma, both mental and physical, and that I ignore that fact. So those are some of the factors. If this victim of torture is also a convicted defiler, I have to take that into consideration. I concede or I confess I have to award them much less than what I would award an innocent victim of torture who is not convicted of any crime.
Concerns of why we went to Gulu and not the military facilities in and around Kampala. Now, sometimes you hear of an incident and you decide to go to that place. That is why we went to Gulu to see whether there were civilians there, and unfortunately the people we found were military men in uniform being detained there, and the conditions were not bad. But like you have raised, we shall also try and again visit. Now we are reporting on a particular financial year. Previously we have gone to military, but we can't go there over and over again. So we shall go back to the ones in and around Kampala as requested. So we pledge to handle that.
From Parliament, we now take you to Kabale, where the State Minister for Trade, David Bahati, has commended Uganda College of Commerce, Kabale, for its contribution to education in Western Uganda despite underlying challenges. Speaking at the institution's 42nd anniversary and the launch of an alumni-led initiative to acquire 70 computers, Bahati praised the college's role in youth skilling and digital transformation. We have more.
Our college has maintained high academic standards, with currently over 97% completing their course.
Uganda College of Commerce Kabale alumni have launched a fundraising drive to secure 70 computers to enhance the institution's digital infrastructure. Minister of State for Trade and Industry, David Bahati, who was represented by Kabale Resident District Commissioner Godfrey Nyakahuma, pledged 5 computers in support of the initiative.
42 years ago, Uganda College of Commerce Kabale was established with a vision to provide quality education and produce skilled professionals who would contribute significantly to the development of our nation.
He reaffirmed his commitment to addressing the institution's challenges.
We are grateful too for our supporters, alumni, students, staff, community, friends who saw what we were trying to do and said, yes, I want to be part of that. Today is about
The college principal, Bernard Nwajura, acknowledged government support but raised concern over declining enrollment.
We have implemented several initiatives that will motivate staff, because we think a motivated staff is the backbone of any institution. And we also thank government for sending us students. We also ask government, chief guest, to consider the issue of enhancing the salaries of arts teachers.
The event, attended by Governing Council Chairperson, Council Henry Raganika, focused on bridging the technology gap and enhancing digital learning.
We are working diligently to attract new students. I would add that every one of us, not only the management, not only the council, but even you students and members of the alumni, work around the clock so that we get the numbers that we need for this institution, so that our institution grows and shines and continues to outshine the rest.
Raganika and Alumni Forum Chairperson Rawlings Masiko highlighted issues such as leaking roofs, inadequate accommodation and limited funding for TVET programs.
To recognize alumni who have accepted support our mighty institution in the two areas, that is equipping our computer lab and setting up a skilling incubation.
They urged the government to elevate UCC Kabale to a degree awarding institution. Ministry of Education official Samuel Babumbeka advised the institution to align its programs with the new curriculum.
We don't have accommodation. You don't expect someone come from Usoroti or Atuku or Chitubum or Weya. He speaks of host accommodation. Suppose we had a hostel there. I was counting, if you are producing like 20,000 alumni, if you ever put about 10,000, that is 200 million. I have told you there is no person who passed here who cannot raise 10,000.
Mary Namkose, Job Nabimanya, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Mary Namukose, for that report. Now, in more news, a land wrangle erupted between Awan Afayo Pontius, a resident of Pokea Ward in Arua City, who accuses Ediofe Catholic Cathedral of attempts to grab his land. Afayo also accuses Arua Vicar General Monsignor Castro Adeti of assault. We have more.
My life has been threatened by the administration of Arua Diocese. On the 7th March 2025, Monsignor Castro Adeti led a team of Parish Council to come and kill me in my residence. And then as soon as I was seen, Monsignor Castro Adeti said he is there. Then immediately the councillors started charging towards me to the office. And in that process, I had taken their photo with my phone, and they were also demanding my phone. Their main issue was that I encroached in their land, but I have not encroached into the diocese land. The land I am in, I bought it from its customary owners.
The council had gone to see development on the land there where he has encroached. There, he decided to take our photographs and so on, and some of our members grabbed that phone and they took it to the police, and the police called us. We were there with them. I don't know. I never assaulted him. We only saw. We didn't. It was only some of the members of the parish council that went to him and they grabbed their phone, but they never did anything. They didn't understand why he should take their photo. They're just going to see their land.
First of all, I'm just hearing from you. I will get in touch with the Toro Police of Ivy West, especially on Duparaka, to get more details so that we can bring this matter to its logical conclusion. However, I'm also urging the complainant, please don't sit down. you can come to our region and raise your complaints.
Thank you so much for staying with us on UBC Lunchtime News. We'll now take a short break and return with business.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Mera ngenze mboni pa Sam nazanya luto ganyiga star 278 then hash ujja kubanga oyingire mu kazannyo nga sente zino zimula wano zina wangu lazino wano milioni 10 ebintu nasooka bilaba ku TV nange saasoka kikiriza ninga mulaye kino kinzo kubanga kituufu oba yaddala tibya bufere sente zona zifunye zona zikoze ki naziwangudde amasanyu nina mangi ebyoto byange byembadde njagala ngenda bituukiriza.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win. Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Tuba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulator.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Kama nemo pocket, tambula body street, issues are my target. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. I'm in a plantation, but on a global mission. Internet ambition, full condition. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. Oro cash is gone, netaga yo karoni, niga mukafoni, money in the zone. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. We are good.
With you and MTN together, our ambition is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable!
Mikulu Business Expo kome pirabiri mwetano ine komyewo wakati wena mwezi mwenda paka 11 Mei Lugugu Uma Showgrounds event service providers naba business endala zonna mwandu badde mweyuna Mikulu Business Expo kome pirabiri mwetano emidala giri ku mitwalo nkaaga eno bronze mitwalo 8 ku silver ate gold yakakadde kalamba kogata platinum yakamu kitundu okuyingira Mikulu Business Expo kome pirabiri mwetano kwa 15 zokka kati wosasula omudala obosasulidde ekifo tenti emeza entebe 2 kogata amasanyalaze ne security okumanya ebisingawo kuba 0701 mukaga 20 292 oba 0776 mukaga 20 292 bitendwa mu Center Photogenics Limited, Lean Events, Crane Performers, Chabasa Pharma, BBS Telefina, UBC, Rosie Roots, City Bridals, Joyce Sonko Textiles, Channel Ladies Choice, Njuvu Estates, Junico Rio Deco, Victory Travel Center, Tender Gardens, Eco Farm Pharmacy, Mikolo Magazine, ne Pepsi.
The Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs and the Ugandan National Rescue Front will hold a Thanksgiving event and revival of the West Nile Peace Festival. The Peace Day celebrations will be held in Yumbe District, West Nile Sub-Region on the 11th and 12th of April 2025 under the theme Consolidating 23 Years of Peace and Security in West Nile Region for Socio-Economic Transformation. This important event will be live on UBC TV on the 12th of April 2025 and the guest of honor will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Tiwahabura Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda.
Amazina ganje ninyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri njyo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 hash ngafuna message erikweka mu njyo muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo neri yabafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka ko nazihangwira.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win. Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Tuba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it UBC Lunchtime News. Now on to our business report. The Autic Foundation has launched its National Free AI Skilling Initiative, a groundbreaking program aimed at equipping Ugandans with cutting-edge skills in artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, generative AI, and cybersecurity. This initiative is part of a broader mission to empower 1 million Ugandans by 2030, fostering innovation and economic growth in the country.
Intensive program open to students, graduates, professionals, and individuals without prior ICT experience. The training is conducted at national ICT innovation hubs across the country, including Nakawa in Kampala, Soroti University in eastern Uganda, Kabale University in western Uganda, and Moni University in northern Uganda.
So with the new curriculum that's focused on research, I think AI would give us a very good leverage in our education sector. Yes, and innovation as well, because I personally do some coding, but I don't have any background in code. I learned all these things using AI. So I think it's a very good tool for our education sector now.
The program is completely free, supported by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance and other partners.
The country's legal environment is quite mature, and in those respects, already, and there is already the Copyrights and Other Rights Act, which under the URSB, and that act already talked about AI in its ways. For example, it says that AI shall not be an innovator.
The initiative emphasizes hands-on training to young Ugandan learners in Uganda using tools like Python, SQL, and Microsoft Power BI, guaranteeing certificates from W3 schools.
And we're actually certifying them. So what that means is that these are job-ready skills. But these are also skills that are actually being demanded right now. A lot of companies are going for expatriates. Recently, I think it must have been the URA that is trying to now incorporate artificial intelligence in being able to identify tax evaders.
By empowering participants to build sustainable businesses and contribute to national development through innovation, Mfasi aims to prepare Ugandans for the fourth industrial revolution.
In Uganda, the education to job creation ratio is still under 50%, and that means initiatives like these will play a significant role in enabling to transform the education sector to find relevant jobs.
The training commenced on 5th April 2025 and will happen every Saturday for 3 months at the designated centers across the country. Wadulo Arnold Mark, UBC News in Kampala.
In our foreign report, the United States has revoked visas of South Sudanese passport holders and put a hold on issuing future ones. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the transitional government's failure to accept deported citizens timely triggered the move. The U.S. Department of State said it is time for South Sudan's transitional government to put a stop taking advantage of the U.S.
The United States has revoked visas of South Sudanese passport holders and put a hold on issuing future ones. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the transitional government's failure to accept deported citizens timely triggered the move. The U.S. Department of State said it is time for South Sudan's transitional government to stop taking advantage of the U.S. Enforcing our nation's immigration laws is critically important to the national security and public safety of the United States, according to the statement. Every country must accept the return of its citizens in a timely manner when another country, including the United States, seeks to remove them, the State Department said. The department will be prepared to review these actions when South Sudan is in full cooperation, it added. South Sudan has not commented on U.S. actions. The move comes after the Trump administration ended a deportation shield for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans in the U.S. in February. South Sudan, located towards the east of Africa, is on the verge of a civil war with rising armed conflict, mass displacement, and severe food insecurity. On April 22, 2023, the U.S. Embassy in Khartoum, Sudan, suspended its operations, including visa, passport, and other routine consular services. The Department of Homeland Security said it would revoke the status of over 300,000 nationals protected by temporary protected status. The Trump administration has deported more than 100,000 illegal migrants since taking office, as per a New York Post report citing a DHS official.
In our sports report, Real Madrid has been boosted by the fitness of goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois for their Champions League quarter-final first leg against Arsenal. Courtois missed Saturday's 2-1 La Liga defeat to Valencia, and his backup Andrea Lunin is out injured, so third choice Fran Gonzalez made his Real debut. Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., who have 5-1 goals between them this season, will start in attack. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich welcomed to Inter to the Allianz Arena for the first leg of their Champions League quarter-final on Tuesday night. Take a look. Now that brings us to the very end of our lunchtime news bulletin. I'm Maureen Babidie. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.